Welcome students. I am Mr. Ramesh Mota, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering. Welcome to the session on water supply appurtenances. The outcome of this session. At the end of this session, you will be able to select appropriate appurtenances for proper control and maintenance of water supply. The appurtenance means a device or an accessory which is used for the appropriate control of the water supply. So let's start learning. The different devices required for controlling the flow of water, for preventing leakage and other purposes in water supply system are called as appurtenances. The distribution pipes are provided with various pipe appurtenances or accessories so as to make the distribution of water easy and effective. The main purpose of water supply appurtenance is to make the distribution of water easy and effective. These are useful to avoid wastage and leakage of water and make the efficient use of water. The requirements, how the appurtenance should be. So it should be strong, as we are aware of the fact that the water is supplied under pressure in case of water distribution system. That pressure might be as high as 22 meters. So the water appurtenances along with pipes should be strong enough to withstand this very high pressure. It should be durable, as we have seen that the replacement or the repair and maintenance of the water supply network is not easy. So along with the pipes, even the different appurtenances which are used for the appropriate control should be durable enough. It should be economical. It should have a resistance to corrosion because it is going to be something which will be in a continuous contact with the water. That water might be acidic or alkaline in few cases. It should have resistance to internal pressure of the water. It should be easy to remove and repair. And it should not be affected by the different chemicals, acids, etc. As water treatment uses different kinds of the chemicals like alum or even the things like disinfectants. So any water supply appurtenance should not be affected adversely because of these chemicals or acids. We'll start the discussion with first and most commonly used water appurtenance, that is valve. Valves are the mechanical devices that controls the flow and pressure within a system of a system or process. In water work practice, to control the flow of water, to regulate pressure and to release or admit air, prevent flow of water in opposite direction, valves are used. These are the various purposes for which the different kinds of valves are being used. The functions of the valves are stopping or starting flow. As we are aware that in most of the cases the water supply is not continuous. Water is supplied to a certain area in a predetermined or predefined period only. So in such case the stopping and starting of flow is very common, and the valves needs to fulfill this requirement of a water distribution system. Then reduce or increase the flow. In case of, say, the fire accident or fire demand has been exerted, then one should able to increase the flow. Well, in case of the leakages, one should able to stop or reduce the flow. So valve has to do these functions for the appropriate operation of the water distribution network. Then controlling the direction of the flow. Generally, when water is pumped to the higher elevation, the pipes are fitted with such valves which are not allowing water to flow in the opposite direction, that is from top to the bottom in few cases. So that is another function valve has to do. Then regulating a flow or a process pressure, that has been possible using the valves, and relieve a pipe system of a certain pressure. The different types of valves are the sluice valves, which are even called as a stop valve, then zero velocity valve, check valve, which is even called as a reflux valve, then scout valve, air relief valve, ball valve and drain valve. Let's understand these in detail. So sluice valve or a stop valve. So this even is sometimes known as a gate valve, as it functions to stop or regulate the flow. This is generally used to control the flow in a pipeline. This is made of cast iron, having a brass or stainless steel mounting at its end fitting with a pipe. This can be used to control or to regulate the flow. These are very common kind of valves. These are needed in very high numbers in any water distribution systems because they are fulfilling the need of controlling or regulating the flow. They are used either to stop, to start, or to minimize or maximize the quantum of water that needs to be supplied through the different pipes. They are provided in straight pipeline at an interval of 150 to 200 meters. It means that generally we provide one stop valve or sluice valve at a distance of 150 to 200 meter in case of straight pipelines. They are even used at the places where the pipe changes its direction and because of which the joints are running. They even are essential at the joints where the mains are been connected with submains or submains are connected with the branches. At that place even the sluice valves or stop valves of appropriate sizes are used. For long straight mains, the sluice valves can be installed at a distance of about 1 kilometer to divide the pipe into different sections. These valves are cheaper, offers less resistance to flow of water than any other type of valve. The entire supply system is divided into blocks by providing these valves at appropriate locations. Second is the check valve or reflux valve or non-return valve. A reflux valve is an automatic device which allows water to go in one direction only. So it avoids the reverse direction flow. The types of check valves are the swing check valves and lift check valves. The swing type of reflux valve is widely used in water supply system. So this figure indicates the cross section of check valves which can be understood to understand the functioning or the working of the reflux valve, in which water shown in a direction of arrow in a left side figure is made possible because of the installation of springs which pushes the disc installed in a certain seat or seating arrangement in a direction of the flow and allow the water to pass. Well, in case of reverse direction flow, because of these springs, this disc is pushed backward and because of which the way has been blocked and no reverse flow is possible. Next is air relief valve or float valve. In longer pipelines, generally the air accumulates at higher location or high points which interferes with streamline flow of water. At such points, air valves are provided which removes the accumulated air automatically. This valve has one or two hollow float chamber as shown in the cross section below. There are air openings at the top of this. The float chambers normally remain full of water, but when the air fills in it, because air is forming the lightest part in the flow, so they are allowed to accumulate at a point which is there as an additional space in float valve. So when the air fills in it, the water level goes down and the float falls and the opening has been created. Through this opening, air escapes out, and after which the chamber again gets filled with the water, which results in a lifting of the float and which closes the opening. So these are very common and they are generally placed at the higher elevations where there is a tendency of air to get accumulated. Next is the drain valve or the blow-off valves. These are ordinary valves operated by hand. They are provided at the dead ends and depressions of pipelines to drain out the wastewater. So generally what happens at the dead end, and particularly in case of intermittent system, the dirt gets accumulated at the dead ends because of the stagnation of water, and they needs to be removed frequently. So that is possible by the operation of drain valves. When we operate and open the drain valves which have been connected at the dead ends, from another end water escapes with very high pressure and cleans the dirt or the accumulated particles as such. Next is zero velocity valve. This even is called as an water hammer arrestor. This is used to avoid the impact of water hammer, which is quite possible in case of very large pipes and where there is always going to be the addition or stopping and flowing at the different times. The principle behind the design of this valve is to arrest the flowing moving water column at zero momentum, that is when its velocity is zero and before any result velocity is established. Next is scour valve. This is very similar to the blow-off valves what we have seen in the initial part of this presentation. So it is placed at every depression in pipeline, and mud and sludge get collected in the pipes at this depression is generally been cleaned off with the help of these scour valves. Only difference is that scour valves are generally of very large size as compared to the valves we have seen in case of blow-off valves. So when the valve is operated, it removes the dirt due to high velocity of water. After the complete removal of silt, the valve needs to be closed. Next is ball valve. A ball valve is a quarter-turn rotational motion valve that uses a ball-shaped disc or to stop or start flow. If a valve is opened, the ball rotates to a point where the hole through the ball is in line with the valve body inlet and outlet. If the valve is closed, the ball is rotated so that it obstructs the flow opening and the flow is stopped. Next is fire hydrant. A hydrant is an outlet provided in water pipe for tapping the water mainly in case of fire. They are generally located at an interval of 100 to 150 along the roadside and also at the junctions of the road. There are two types of fire hydrants, flush hydrant and post hydrant. Flush hydrant is a hydrant which sits flush with the surface of the ground, and they are generally used at airports or on bridges, etc. While the most commonly used fire hydrants are the post hydrants, which are located normally along the roadside, and they are been projecting outside as shown in figure. The requirement of good fire hydrants: it should be cheap, it should be easy to connect with hose or motor pump, it should be easily detachable and reliable, it should function properly and should not go out of order during the operation, it should permit undistributed flow of water when being fully opened. Next is water meter. Now, to determine the quantity of water flowing through the pipe, water meters are installed. The readings obtained from these meters help in working out the quantity of water supplied, and thus the consumer can be charged. The water bills are been prepared by knowing the readings obtained from such meters. The water meter are usually installed to supply waters to houses, industries, hotels, institutions, etc. This metering generally prevents the wastage of purified water, because in case of metered water supply, consumer uses water carefully as he needs to pay for every bit of water he has consumed. The classification of water meter is that such meters are either positive displacement type meters or velocity meters. This figure indicates the currently used electronic or ultrasonic water meters which have been introduced in India very recently. These are the requirements of good water meter. It should not offer any resistance to the flow of water. It should measure the discharge up to an accuracy of 2%. All of its parts should be of non-corrosive alloy type. It can be easily maintained and repaired. It should be economical. It should have a screen on its inlet side to exclude the clay, silt, grit, etc. which may come into the water supply in few cases. It should be capable for resisting even small quantity of flow of water. Stopcock. They are small sized sluice valves which are installed in a service pipe servicing the beepcocks. It is provided before the water meter service line. Generally, these are provided where the individual consumer used to take his connection from the branch. Stopcock is housed in a suitable masonry chamber with a removable cover and fixed in the street close to the boundary wall in an accessible position. It controls the supply to the building from the water main. The main purpose of such kind of stopcock is to stop the supply of water whenever required. This even is useful in a temporary disconnections to be made, particularly in case of either the repairing or altering of the water meter, or even in case of non-payment of bills by the consumer. The temporary disconnection are to be made, and it is possible by using the stopcock. And the final part of this is that how the service connections are made. It is a very important part from the point of view of a civil engineering. So this figure describes how generally the service connections are made, or in other words, how the water connection is given to an individual consumer. So it is generally been connected from the municipal street water main, particularly the branches. From branches, what runs is the gooseneck pipe, which is usually made up of lead. They have been connected to the service pipe, which is then connected to the stopcocks. As we have seen, the stopcocks are been installed in a small masonry kind of chamber from where they can be operated in case of temporary disconnection. From this stopcock, the water generally enters into the property of an individual consumer, from where it is been connected to the water meter, and then these water meters are being connected with small control valves, and then this particular pipe from control main is connected to the pipes which are been running to the underground reservoir or to the directly into the consumer's house. So this is how the service connections are made, which runs from the municipal water supply. That connection is made from the ferrule connection, and this ferrule connection is used for giving the temporary connections as well as the permanent connections. And if you want to disconnect the water permanently from a certain place, they have been separated from the location of ferrule connection. So these are the references used to prepare this particular small presentation. That's it for this session. Thank you for your patience learning. Let's meet in next session to learn more. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe the channel. Thank you.